and welcome to the second edition of the College Strength Happy Hour at the Deadlift Bar podcast.
What's up, guys?
I'm Alex, and I'm here with
Andrew.
And today we are going to talk to you about supplements. A pretty essential part of fitness.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so supplements play a pretty big part of training, I guess. I mean, I've probably used protein since I ever started.
I mean, I feel like everyone who gets into fitness right away starts buying things because they think it's gonna help, and I think there are some products out there that do help, and there's some that don't. Some just start blowing smoke up your skirt, like, doesn't matter. Like
when are you wearing skirts?
All the time
really?
At the gym. Yeah, I just gotta wear that kilt.
Is it just makes it a bit more comfortable to squat? Like when you
comfortable for me, uncomfortable for
everyone else. Yeah, especially when you're benching. You rock back and they get a whole shot.
There we go.
Yeah. So what supplements have you taken then?
I've tried a lot, actually. I've tried, as far as protein powder goes, I've done the 5-star. I've done like the basic Target brand whey protein.
Target brand whey.
Yeah. I've had the gold standard one. I've had the My Protein, which is the UK site that I'm currently using right now, and that's soy protein. I've done some casein protein. As far as pre-workouts go, I've tried like NO Fusion. I've tried Jacked, I believe.
Jacked 3D.
Yeah, it may have gone out of.
Was that before or after?
I don't know. Before they had the cocaine in there. I think it was after, but it may have been like an old one that was on the shelf. I don't know.
True.
That worked pretty well. What else did I try? I tried amino acids, the essential amino acids, just for like recovery.
Like BCAAs.
Yeah, BCAAs. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I've tried creatine before too.
Oh, and that give you the shits? Because it seems to always give me the shits.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't really give me the shits, but it didn't really give me much else either. I mean, we can like break it down and go into like the individual ones.
True. Yeah.
As far as like protein though, I think as far as taste, I really love the gold standard. I think that
what flavor?
It was chocolate malt. Oh man,
interesting.
Tastes like chocolate milk,
really?
But like way better. Like
the pun.
Yeah, way.
So are you a milk or a water guy?
Oh, always been a milk guy, but I've done water too, and it's not terrible. It's a little more like thin. And I think when it has milk, it's like it really thickens it up, and it tastes more like a shake or something. Yeah.
You're kind of like tricking yourself. Like
I'm tricking myself thinking.
Quality macro milkshake.
Pretty much.
I feel that. I mean, I guess for me, I've tried all of that stuff. What else? I don't think I've had anything else.
I mean, those are pretty much the standard.
Yeah. I took creatine for like quite a while, and it just gave me a really upset stomach.
Did you see any results off that?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I feel like it has a mental aspect of it. Obviously, like, you're taking something so you feel better about it. But, in terms of, the creatine really doesn't promise that much apart from, more energy in your muscles. Like, I don't know, there's some other bullshit.
Yeah, let's break it down. How does it actually work? Do you know the science behind it? I know a little bit. I mean, I heard that it basically water is absorbed up into your muscles, but I'm not 100% sure like how that all works. I know that football player actually died off of it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was a huge story. He was in summer training, and it was really hot outside, and the coach wouldn't let him get water or something. It was this huge controversy.
Are you serious? No,
yeah,
I've never heard about that.
You never heard about that?
Never even heard about that.
He died off of it. Really.
What, just because he was like dehydrated? Or?
That's what they said, yeah, and they do not recommend that you take creatine on season if you're like a football player or an athlete. And when I was taking creatine, I was still playing varsity tennis, and during that time, I immediately stopped because I was out in the 90-degree heat and stuff too. And this wasn't like we were in the hottest state of the United States. We were in Indiana, so like it was
It's like the Midwest.
Yeah, it's the Midwest. It wasn't like getting extremely hot or anything, but it still had the dangerous effects to kill someone. And
True.
It was pretty shocking at the time.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've done some research here.
Alright.
Quick Google search to educate myself a little bit better.
Alright.
So essentially, creatine is stored in the muscles, and it's used as a form of energy by your muscles called phosphocreatine.
Okay.
It's basically associated with power output and prolonged muscle use. So all that's saying is that it allows you to create more energy from very little energy, I suppose, is what it's saying here. And the increasing creatine intake has been proven to help increase phosphocreatine output during anaerobic activity. So what that's saying is, by taking in more creatine, you're producing more phosphocreatine, which allows you to have more accessible energy.
Okay, so yeah, we can like look at the definition all we want, but as far as like usage goes, did you notice the difference between that and, let's say, pre-workout?
I mean,
because both are supposed to give energy.
That's true. I think, pre-workout is, from my perspective, it's like a neuro and muscular energy. So you're getting focused, you're getting in the zone. Like if I don't drink pre-workout, like for example, I trained this morning at 6 and I didn't drink pre-workout, I wasn't like super tired, but at the same time, like I found it difficult to concentrate. And I always use headphones, I always, blast my music, try and get in the zone a little bit and focus. But, sometimes if I'm not taking pre-workout, I find it really difficult because there's no caffeine.
On topic,
yeah, so it's just like, especially on my heavier days, I'm making sure that I'm taking in caffeine, not even just to have more energy, but just so that I can focus. And I think that's kind of, for me, that's always been the main benefit of pre-workout. And obviously, like, the more amped up you can get, the easier training is going to be. So I think the benefit of creatine, it's an addition to pre-workout. So I'm always going to take pre-workout. I'm probably, I'm going to try and take it as little as I can so that I'm not overusing it and just, wasting the benefits of it. But I think, creatine, it's kind of saying here that it's giving you more muscular endurance and enhancing your strength and power, which is obviously pretty important for any kind of strength training. And it also says that it's shown to buffer lactic acid buildup, which is probably, really helpful for someone that's doing like sprint training or, a football player, for example. But for me, I'm not doing sets of 30, so it's not really super draining. And maybe for a bodybuilder, it's going to be a little bit more beneficial because
to really cut up the muscles, right?
Yeah, because they're doing a burnout set, and after you've done like 30 on a leg extension, you might be super tired and like burnt out.
That's super true.
Yeah, but I think in my opinion, I've never taken creatine and got like a noticeable benefit. The only thing that I've kind of experienced from it is that I feel kind of sick, especially if I take it in the morning, and it does give me the runs a little bit,
Yeah.
I think. I've also read that taking creatine monohydrate is kind of like a less pure form of creatine, even though it's like very pure, because when you mix it with water, it doesn't like 100% mix. So like the unmixed part is what upsets your stomach. So so I was reading up about it, and you're better off if you're taking something like CreaPure, which is supposedly like 99% pure creatine. And it mixes like really, really well with water.
CreaPure, is that something you just buy like on the bodybuilding.com?
It's just like a version of creatine monohydrate.
Cool.
So it's just like you can buy. I know MyProtein sells it. They have like a CreaPure version of their creatine. So it's worth like the extra $5 or $10. And you can also buy. I know Optimum Nutrition sell micronized creatine, which is like really, really pure as well. So I would say like if you are thinking about taking creatine, like 100%. Just spend a little bit more money and get the extra benefit, because the stomach agony you're going to feel if you don't isn't great. But I think and from my perspective, I would say that unless you're very, very serious about training and you're looking for every possible edge that you can get, then I wouldn't bother like spending the money on it.
Yeah, it is kind of expensive, isn't it? I remember when I bought it. I mean, I bought it off bodybuilding.com, but I didn't think it was worth the price that I paid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the same with a lot of
Did you see any increase in weight gain? Because I know that's kind of it does something with water weight, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It helps you retain it.
It's kind of like, I mean, there's science that backs it up like both ways, in that you do retain more water when you take creatine, but it doesn't lead to like bloating, because all the water you take in is into your muscles, so it doesn't expand. It's not like on top of it's not like directly underneath your skin, so it's not going to make you look fatter or anything like that.
Right.
It's just it's inside your muscles, so it's helping your muscles to be bigger essentially, which allows you to be a little bit more efficient, but it's like on a very micro scale as well.
Yeah,
because you think about like an extra 5 pounds, well, like it says like 2 to 5 pounds of water spread around your body. I mean, like you're a 210 pound guy, right?
Right.
you know, you probably have like 150 pounds of muscle. An extra 2 pounds isn't really going to have a noticeable difference visibly for you. Or, you know, it's not gonna take you to the next level, but it might add like a little benefit if you consistently use it for like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that when I started it, or when I stopped it, one of the things that really made me make that decision was the fact that the weight gain I read is temporary because it's just off the water weight.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you were to do creatine, would you do that towards a bulk and then get off creatine towards your cut? Is that how like the cycling's supposed to work?
See, I think like a lot of people kind of look at it the wrong way in terms of like a lot of supplements. Is that people when they're cutting, they'll immediately cut out like BCAAs and creatine and stuff like that because they're like, I just need to be, you know, eating as little as I can. But you know, you kind of have to not so much trick your body, but in the same way you have to make yourself feel fuller and feel better and try and make your training as good as it possibly can. And like the main goal of cutting isn't to lose weight, it's to lose body fat. And people kind of mistake that. So, you know, if you're going from 200 pounds to 170 for a bodybuilding show or something, it's not going to be beneficial to just lose like 30 pounds with 20 pounds of which is fat and 10 pounds is muscle, right? You want to try and lose 30 pounds of fat, or at least like 28 pounds of fat and 2 pounds of muscle.
Is that even possible?
I mean, I don't know if it is, but I'm saying like you need to be trying to do it at the best that you can.
Yeah,
and I think
that's important.
BCAAs and creatine, like BCAAs are really useful in terms of like the middle of your training, like intra workout, I would say, because it's kind of giving you amino acids which help your body feel a little bit fuller and give you a little bit more energy when you're training, and that's, you know, that's going to be a little bit beneficial. I think creatine can kind of be the same way. I think the other thing is you have to drink a ton of water when you're taking creatine. You feel like really dehydrated, so that can also be good because, you know, if you're drinking like, let's say 5-6 liters of water a day, you're not going to be as hungry because you're constantly like slamming down water.
True.
And you're just feeling full, even though like you're pissing it out every 20 minutes. That's
true.
But I mean, yeah, it has its benefits. It has its ups and downs, but you know, I think from my perspective, if I had $100 and you know, it was for my supplements for the entire month, right? I would go out and I would probably just buy protein and pre-workout.
Yeah.
And a multivitamin because like I'd never eat enough vegetables.
Oh yeah, that's something else I forgot. I've tried a few multivitamins too.
Really?
That's interesting. I mean, we can talk about those later. I think we burned out creatine now.
Yeah.
Why don't we move on to you know, the main subject of protein powder? Because when you're on protein powder, do you notice whether it be whey, casein, or soy, do you notice a difference in bulking? Can you build muscle quicker? Is it good muscle? Does it last? You know.
Yeah.
What's your experience with that?
I think there's like so much bullshit around protein, and it's kind of, in a way, it's the most controversial when it should just there should be no controversy. It's cut and dry, right?
Right.
You know, protein powder is a supplement for food, right? So if you eat, let's say your macros include 200 grams of protein per day, right? For most people, if you're cooking for yourself at home, it can be pretty unattainable to eat 200 grams of protein.
That's true.
Because you can't eat, you know, that's like, unless you're eating like 4 or 5 meals a day of like, you know, chicken breasts or eggs, it can be quite difficult to get in 200 grams of protein and not like get really bored of what you're eating. So I think protein is a really good supplement if, you know, you're having 2 scoops at the end of the day, which is giving you 40 or 50 grams of protein just to get up to the requirement where you are. I wouldn't say it's like, it's not so much a supplement in the sense that it's helping your performance in any way, because in the reality it isn't. Like if you're using it before your workout, like after your workout to try and like refuel or help you, help give you some energy, there's some studies into, you know, taking protein before workouts, and that's actually helping sustain energy for a longer period of time. And that's been shown to be kind of effective.
Do you believe in that? Like taking it, because I know a lot of people take it right after their workout, and I've had people come up to me and ask if they should drink protein before their workout. So I mean, what's the answer? You know,
people kind of believe in like the anabolic window. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah, of course, the 45 minutes.
Yeah, the 45 minutes after you work out. Yeah.
Do you believe in that?
No, it's like the most made up thing ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's I mean, yeah, obviously, if you can eat like 10 minutes after you work out, that's not going to be detrimental to you in any way, right? But you're not going to lose your gains if you don't eat immediately after you work out.
Huh.
Right? You should, you know, try and eat if you can, because, you know, it's going to help you refuel and recover a little bit quicker. But if you don't eat in 15 minutes, you're gonna be fine. You can wait a little while longer. You know, I know for me, I have access to the dining hall, so I just go pop in after and I have something to eat usually.
Right.
But when I'm at home, like I'll have like a protein shake and like a protein bar and something, or like a protein shake and a cookie in the car on the way home, just because I'm pretty hungry after I work out and I just want to like feel better as quick as I can.
So I know a lot of people aren't hungry right after they work out, but I've seen a lot of people force themselves to eat. Would you say that practice is futile?
Yeah, I would 100% say. If you don't feel like eating, then you shouldn't eat unless you're trying to do bodybuilding, unless you're trying to really force the calories in.
Right.
You know, I pretty much eat intuitively, which means that I only eat when I feel like eating. I only eat as much as I feel like eating. You know, I tracked macros for a long time, and you know, it was really good. But at the same time, you kind of give yourself a complex in that you're constantly measuring and weighing out everything you're eating.
Yeah.
If you kind of do it from a rough, you know, I just eyeball my food. I try and make sure like I'm not eating more than like 80 or 90 grams of fat when I'm bulking, or like 60 or 65 when I'm cutting, and I just try and eat a lot of carbs and, you know, just relatively good healthy carbs, not like cereal all day. I try and eat like a lot of carbs, and I make sure that I'm getting at least like 180 to 220 grams of protein a day, because, you know, I'm really in a building phase, so I'm trying to make sure I'm fueling my body, especially through these hard workouts.
So have you tried other proteins besides whey?
Yeah.
You've tried.
So I've tried soy. I've done like whey isolate, regular whey. I've never taken casein protein because I'm very lactose intolerant. So
is that
well, casein is like from milk, I think.
Is it?
I'm not 100% sure. You know, I'm gonna look it up because I don't sound like an idiot.
While you look it up, I'm gonna talk about my casein experience for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
There was a time where I was doing
This is a hard time in
a long time ago, probably a couple years ago actually. I was taking whey protein right after my workout, and then right before bed I would take casein protein because I heard that was like an interesting cycle that was supposed to speed up growth. And you know what I did see is I saw a temporary boost in my weight gain.
Really?
Just for like a little bit, but then I went to college and I didn't bring all my protein with me, and I lost all of it almost immediately. So I'm not 100% sure if exactly what I was intaking was a permanent solution or not.
Right.
You know, it may have stuck to, because I read casein protein sticks to your bones more than whey protein. Now, I don't know if I believe that.
Where is this? Well, like, I'm just interested
all
in
bodybuilding.
All bodybuilding.
That's all
Is it like the forums, or is it
exactly, the forums. So there's definitely bro science in there.
Yeah,
I'm not,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
when I'm saying I read this stuff, this is literally just the stuff you will read on the internet. No credibility whatsoever. Anyway, people said that, you know, you should do the cycle. After doing this cycle and doing the casein in the whey, I disagree. I don't think it's necessary. I think I completely agree with Alex. You need to track your macros.
True.
And if you're low on protein, take your protein powder then.
For
it's not
sure.
like protein powder is not just a magic powder where you just intake it and it'll make you build muscle because it's protein, you know.
Yeah.
It's just another, you know, it's a calorie.
Dude, I agree 100%. I think so by the way, casein is just like from milk. So in the same way, it's just another protein that's in milk. So I was kind of right, I guess.
There we go.
Anyway, yeah, like Andrew makes a really, really valid point. There's just way too much bullshit and hype given to protein. You don't need to spend $50 on a tub of protein. Go to My Protein, buy their protein. It's 100% listed. So what you see on the packet, it says whey protein, right?
Yeah.
That's what you get in the packet, right? It's not like this other protein where what you're getting is protein, 95% of it's protein, and the rest is listed as amino acids because of amino spiking. My protein is like legitimate protein, right? So that brings me on to like another topic, which is amino spiking. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't want you to explain it to me and the listeners.
So essentially, like amino spiking. So when companies test for a protein, the test uses nitrogen. So the nitrogen testing only can discover like amino acids, right? So it can't tell the difference between amino acids and protein. So essentially companies just put in like a bunch of filler ingredients that contain amino acids to make it look like they're giving you a ton of protein.
Really?
So they make it look like, let's say you're buying a protein and each serving is like 40 grams of protein, but it could in reality be like 25 grams of protein. They just have all these amino acids in there that make it look like they're giving you 40 grams of protein.
Now, are those the same as like BCAAs? Like, do those have separate benefits?
It's like, so I actually have a pretty interesting fact here, right? So the gross part of all that, of like amino spiking, is that a lot of companies and manufacturers in China actually use the keratin from human hair and animal fur to provide the amino acids. So what they do is they take like human hair and animal fur, right? And they extract the amino acids from the keratin in your hair.
And this has been like proven?
This is like researched, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. But my biggest issue with it is that because like protein powder is a supplement, right? It's not FDA approved. And it doesn't have to be FDA approved because it's not a food, it's a supplement. It's not a food or a drug, it's a supplement, right?
That's so weird.
So essentially, companies can do pretty much whatever they want and put it in this protein as long as they don't claim that it's just 100% protein. Like if they say that it's 95% protein, then that's fine.
So would you read this on like the back of the large tub? Does it say like?
Yeah, it should say like, so all I'm saying is that you shouldn't be buying proteins that don't say that it's 100% protein.
And my protein says it's 100%.
Yeah, the only ingredient it lists is like whey protein isolate, right?
Huh, that's
so
interesting.
because that's all that's in there, right? So some companies will have like whey protein isolate 90%, and then it's like I don't know what the amino acids are, but amino acid I know is like glutamine. So I'll have like glutamine and then list out like lysine and all these other amino acids. I don't know. Don't credit that. That's not factual anyway. But it will just list out a bunch of amino acids and say that that's what the rest of it is.
You don't know where that's coming
from.
But
it's all coming from human hair. Like the amino acids are there, but they're not giving you benefit, and they're not protein.
Did they mention any names, like specific companies, or
No. There's no specific companies, but at the same time, it's pretty easy to tell. Just don't spend money. If a protein is ridiculously cheap, like I'm talking like $10 for a 5-pound tub, don't expect it to be really good protein. Like it's probably gonna be kind of shit.
That's interesting because I know that the 5-star protein is a lot more expensive than my protein, but I think now that I think back that the 5-star protein may have had not 100% protein, and they added extra, like especially vitamins. I don't know if they added human hair, but
dude, the thing is like so I actually have I was reading a report on this yesterday. So this is taken from an IBIS World industry report about the supplement industry.
Okay.
So the supplement industry is currently a $17.8 billion industry in the United States, with an expected growth of 2.8% per year. Right? That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
People are spending just ludicrous amounts of money, right? So the market leaders right now is a company called MBTY, which inevitably you've never heard of them, because they are a conglomerate, and they actually currently own MetRx. You know who that is? They make protein powder and like protein bars. There's like big meal replacement bars.
Maybe.
Yeah, they make them, and they also own Pure Protein.
Oh, Pure Protein, yeah, definitely Pure Protein.
So it's just like they own like 30 companies, right? And they're selling all this shit. So they're competing with themselves. So they're just like they basically have like, they have like 9% of the industry, which isn't a ton when you think about it. But the supplement industry includes like old people's vitamins. So in reality, like in terms of the protein and like fitness industry supplement area, they own like a pretty big portion of it.
Jesus.
So it's crazy like how these companies are able to just manipulate it and generate profits for themselves by doing all this bullshit and scandal. I actually want to talk about another company which obviously a lot of people, they've kind of come to prevalence recently. You probably wouldn't have heard about this because you are not on any social media.
It's true.
So, but it's actually a company called Ghost Lifestyle. I don't know if you've heard about them.
I don't know. You may have told me about this.
Right. So essentially, it's a new supplement company that's kind of, I think their website launched like June 1st maybe, so pretty recently, but
2016.
2016. But they managed to like captivate a lot of the like main fitness YouTubers and people that are kind of really prevalent in the industry. So they did kind of a guerrilla marketing campaign where all these people were talking about it. They got the samples they were showing on their channels, like really promoting the products, and then they launched their website. And like sold out of everything like really quick.
Really?
But the issue I have with it is that the pre-workout, right, 30 serving tub of pre-workout, they're selling for $40.
Wow.
Right? And the biggest part of that is that every YouTuber you're watching, right, they're taking 2 scoops because there's like 180 milligrams of caffeine, which isn't really a ton in each serving. And I think, you know, they're planning on charging like $60 for their protein, which isn't even released yet. But it's like, why can someone... All pre-workout is caffeine, right?
Right.
And some amino acids and like some beta-alanine. You can go on... I'm sorry I keep using my protein as an example, but it's a good example because they have a pretty wide variety of stuff. You can go on there, you can buy caffeine pills. I'm not sure you can in the US, but you can definitely in the UK. For like $8 or $9 for a big tub of like 150. And you can buy beta-alanine by the bag for like $5, and that's like 100 servings. You can buy BCAAs by the bag for like $15, and that's like 100 servings. And you can make a pre-workout for yourself with different flavors every day for 6 months, and it's costing you the same amount as a 130 serving tub, which is going to last you 15 workouts.
Mad. Scandal.
Yeah, they're making the fitness industry. No wonder American people are so fat, man, because it's so expensive to work out.
It
you
is
know?
expensive.
Like you go to 24-hour fitness or I don't know what they are, like LA
Fitness,
Planet
yeah.
Fatness, all those places, and you pay them like $60 a month to run on the treadmill, and then like another $40 to get some pre-workout.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it, man. I just think that too many companies. I think bodybuilding.com has kind of been good because it's promoted the lifestyle, but it's not. When you go on bodybuilding.com, they're trying to sell you products, they're trying to sell you these training plans, yeah. But they don't like shove it in your face. They're still letting you have access to these free services, and you're still being able to get some value, and you're still being able to access the lifestyle without spending this money on the product. I think companies like this Ghost company, they're promoting the fact that there is this lifestyle, and they're saying this is all the good stuff, you can do this lifestyle, which is great. I think that's really awesome. But at the same time, the cost of entry is so high. Right. Because if you're not buying their products, you can't access their lifestyle, or that's at least the dream they're selling. And people buy into it because if every YouTuber, every person you look up to in the fitness world is telling you you need to have this stuff, then, you know, so you can work out, of course you're going to buy it, especially if you're like 18, 19, 20, and you're pretty impressionable.
So many like Instagram accounts just get sponsored.
Like Instagram trainers, like just no one cares, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You're not providing and if you're not providing value, you shouldn't be on these platforms, man. If you're not concerned with helping people, then just don't. Just shut down your YouTube account.
Concerned with helping yourself and getting
exactly.
Check
like money's important, but you need to be providing value and providing help to people.
Yeah, it's true.
True. So, going back to like the origin of this whole conversation, we're bringing it full circle right here. So what supplements do you use now? What do you take?
Just put some protein powder, some soy protein powder actually, and the reason I did soy is because I like baking with it.
Right.
I'll throw it in some pancakes sometimes. I'll throw it in French toast. I've even done it in some like pizzas I've made.
Pizzas?
Yeah, nice. Just a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
here and there, make it a little healthier. But yeah, just pretty much that. Sometimes before I work out, I will do protein beforehand, but I usually do it afterwards just because sometimes when I drink that kind of stuff, it kind of sits in my stomach, and it'll slow me down. But overall, you know, I've dropped my BCAAs because I didn't see a ton of recovery time on BCAAs. I mean, I actually like getting sore. It shows me that I've worked hard, but usually by the next day I can do whatever exercise.
Your recovery is good enough now that you don't need supplements to improve it.
I feel like if you're an athlete, then you don't need BCAAs, and I feel like if you're not an athlete, then you just need to work out more, and eventually your recovery time will go up. So I think BCAAs are a myth. I kind of agree. Just from my experience.
Think you make a good point in that no, if you take fitness seriously, you need to consider yourself an athlete, right? So you need to do everything you can to get better. And that isn't just taking these quick solutions, right? So you taking creatine and BCAAs and drinking protein and having pre-workout, it's not going to make you better, right? The only thing that's going to make you better is two things. It's your mindset and your determination to succeed, right? If you're going to the gym every single day, or, 5 or 6 days a week, for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, and eventually accumulating years of training, you're going to improve. Your recovery is going to improve. Your strength is going to get better. You're going to feel better when you train. And like your whole lifestyle is going to improve because you're approaching it as something that you need to be doing. If you're taking all these, if you're taking BCAAs and creatine and expecting miraculous results, you should just go take steroids because that's what you want to be doing, right? You don't want to put the work in.
Don't take steroids.
Don't take steroids. That's not the point of what I'm saying. But at the same time, you're not there for the lifestyle. You're not there for the journey. You're just there for the results, and that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think the moral of the story is, Alex and I have been there. There's no easy way to just get big. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to put in the work, and it's going to sometimes take years, depending on, people are born with, genetic advantages, and as an Asian American male, I know I was born with some genetic disadvantages, but you got to work and.
Not that intelligence, though.
Yeah, sure.
He's got this stereotypical intelligence of an Asian American.
Anyway, but you have to work hard. That's the point. Because if you don't work hard, it's not going to happen for you. There's no quick fix. Don't buy these products if you're thinking it's going to make you, 10 times better. Buy them if you think it's going to make you 1% better, and that's what you want. Because sometimes, maybe they will. Maybe it's just a mindset. You buy these products and you already put the money in, so now you have to work out. If that's something that motivates you, I say go for it.
True.
Because I know once I started sinking some money, like I sunk probably $100+ in supplements when I was 16 or so. I started, seriously training because I had put all this money in. It's my money, and I needed some results out of it. So that was something that motivated me. But like I said, hard work beats all.
I think you totally hit the nail on the head, man. I think, my kind of question, the question of the week is, do supplements increase performance? And I think, you kind of just answered it right there. It's going to give you 1%, maybe 0.5%, right? Is it going to change everything? No, it's not. Taking a pre-workout every time you have heavy workouts might really help you a lot. I know it definitely helped me. It helped me increase focus, but it didn't make me stronger. It just made me able to concentrate better. And you can get the same result from drinking a black coffee before you go to the gym.
So true.
So I think that do supplements increase performance? Probably not. No. I think your mindset is what affects your performance the most.
I agree with that.
I think if you want to take supplements, go ahead. If you think that they're doing something for you and it's just a mental benefit, then definitely go take them. And if you have like $200 a month to spend on supplements, then why not, man? But like the reality of it is we're both college students. We're both on a budget. We can't just be out here buying everything that everyone on YouTube says is the next best thing.
Even though we've tried most of it actually.
Yeah, exactly. We've experienced everything, so we can kind of give you that unbiased viewpoint. We don't have any sponsors. we really don't. We don't make supplements.
As much as we plug My Protein.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, if you're listening to My Protein, sponsor us. But for right now, this is an unbiased view. But do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, just realize that there's no quick and easy fixes. This is a lifestyle, and that does mean that it follows you throughout your life.
Exactly.
You have to be consistent with it, and you'll get there in the end. So the question of the week is: do supplements increase performance? So leave your comments. Tweet us. I think it's at college_strong.
Yep, college_strong.
Yeah, I think that's it. So tweet us there.
Look at our website, collegestrength.org.
Yeah,
please.
It's coming live July 1st. July 1st. Check out our t-shirts. Check out my coaching. Check out our training plans. Read my blog. Read Kelsey's blog. I don't know what else there is to do there, but it's pretty awesome. Alright, so we appreciate you listening, whoever is listening out there. There's a few people, I'm sure.
There we go.
But thank you, and we'll be back again next Sunday. So thank you.
Alright, see you next time.
Bye.
I found a way back to